It's been a while. Hello. Hello, G. Hello, I hate peas. Oh, I've got some older ones than that peas. I've got these things are coming fast and furious. These cases are coming down. Now, I don't expect a lot of people to be here tonight because I haven't been here for what? 3 months? 3 months? No. I am live. Oh. Hey, Clancy. Hold on. Apparently, there's a fight in the hockey. Hold on.
Wall got bumped. Hey guys.
If you don't know anything about hockey, hey, Sam, hello, G, hello, have fun. Hey, sweet potato.
Don't pay attention. Hey guys.
So let me just say this: there's a hockey game going on right now. Y'all know. Hey, Hope and Faith. Hello, Michael. We're big hockey fans, and so there's some rules in hockey. You don't hit the rookie, okay? And you don't F with the goalie. And apparently someone has effed with the goal. Well, thank you.
Did you do your eyebrows?
I didn't.
Oh, sorry guys.
Hold on. We have breaking news. Oh, yeah.
I don't know why.
Oh, Riley's there. Hello. Akron Larson.
Look at Wall. He's barely good.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit. I'm not shocked, but I'm a little shocked.
Oh,
we're away. They're still fighting with a referee, 2 referees in there.
Riley.
Wow.
Okay, guys, if you don't know, Austin Matthews.
Oh, thank you, Michael.
Austin Matthews was murdered.
Hey, Outshine.
Last night.
Yeah.
2 nights ago.
Yeah.
He's dead.
Assassination attempt. So I'm just
kidding. Whatever. No, you weren't kidding. Did you guys just see what she did to me?
I have new hair. Hello, Halloween baby. Let's address that. I have new hair. All right. We've got it's a little dark. Cut some length off.
Was it hiding?
Well, yeah.
No, okay.
Actually, Michael, it's funny. Hey, there's Nightbot. You got to tone Nightbot down.
I'm gonna go do that right now.
Nightbot's been acting up. We're getting ready to do it. Oh, here's the thing, Michael, with that is there's a saying that you went to a fight and a hockey game broke out. And that's a pretty popular one. Oh no, the Nightbot. What is going on? The Nightbot's cursing me. And thank you. I had to listen, a girl's got to change it up, right? So I changed it up. Thank you, G. This is going to just kind of ease me back in, right? This is, I got about 4 different cases here. Some of them very old. Most of them very old, actually. And we'll go through that. And, I don't know how long it's going to take. We'll just get through it. And then next week, we're coming through with Kyron. I'm going to put it right here. A little 7-year-old that went missing right from school after science fair. His mother, that's the last person that saw him, We'll go over that. And then after that, next week after next, I've got another one that I'll let you know. I hate Freeside. No, I like to sing in the car. And let me tell you, I give some pretty impressive concerts. And, yeah, the very evil one, right? I hate these, right? Oh, thank you. Thank you. I love you, Holy baby. I missed y'all. You're just getting a rut. I got into a rut and I didn't quite know how to get out of it, and oh yeah, Michael. If I could get a mod to share out Hope and Faith, this is Michael. And Michael has got his channel is growing. He is a lovely man. I think California. Just a really lovely man. And I ran upon him. Y'all know how I go through the vertical feed. I got him, I saw him and I was like, okay, I like this guy. I like this guy. And his channel is growing and it should. It should. Well, you know what? Here, oh, Cinnamon Girl, hello. Hello. Hey. I missed y'all so much. Yeah, I got in a rut. I got in a rut and I couldn't get out of it. I tried. I could not get out of it. So I haven't been around a lot, but I'm back because it's time to come back. I miss y'all. I miss doing this. I miss research. I miss, yeah, all the good stuff. I miss it. So thank you, Half Pint. So I'm back. Oh, no. Michael is so, I'm trying to think of the word. He is very charming. You are very charming. He's very charming. I don't think he knows his own charisma because he's got charisma, I don't think he knows that. I don't think I think maybe you do, Michael. I think maybe you do because he's just a very natural, lovely person. And when he's live, I try to get over there because he really does make me smile. You try to. I'm sorry. He flies. Oh no. Incognito Loco. Hello. I've lost some more weight. Yeah. I quit taking the shots and I got back on them. Okay. And now you can get Wegovy, which is the same medicine that's in Ozempic. You can get it in pill form now. And it's about $120 a month, which is a lot. But hopefully, y'all will help me pay for that throughout the month when I, entertain you. Thank you, Michael. I appreciate that. So yeah, I'm getting ready to get back on the pill. Let me switch that up. I'm getting ready to go on the Wegovy pill just for maintenance. I'm 57. Okay. I don't want to get down to my birth weight. Well, no, not my birth weight. You never know. So let me see how many people are here. I'm good with 14. I'm great with it. No, I honestly, I've not been on it a lot. My big thing was Mounjaro. Now I love that. That stuff worked. But again, my insurance doesn't cover it. So, well, it covers it, but only after a $5,000 deductible. So that year that in 2024, when the unfortunate medical emergency that almost took me off this earth, yeah, we made the deductible that year. But I go off and on and off and on. So flaws, it's got so many uses that this is what's funny. They have said that it, that could help with dementia. It helps with like liver and kidney, something like that. Obviously your heart. Like my A1C is down, and then what else? Oh, if you're an alcoholic, say you're an alcoholic, you drink a lot. If you take Ozempic, it can curb that need to drink. So we're gonna it obviously in a couple of years we're gonna find out that your ears are gonna fall off and some of your toes. They never let us till the very end. But it's a promising thing. And it's like, with me, and I'm not shy about this. I am not shy about this. I am on medications because I am bipolar. Shocker. But all of those medications, they put weight on you. I don't know how and I don't know why, but they will put weight on you. And I have been taking them forever and it kind of creeps up and down. And so this is kind of it's not my way to fight it, but it's my kind of way to just control it, Yeah, they really do. And I'm on all, I've got cocktails. Oh, oh, Halloween, baby. Yeah, we're all alive right now. So yeah, it's just like my kind of, I don't know what you'd even call it. It gives me a little bit control because when you're on those medicines, yeah, it helps. Obviously, it helps, but the weight thing is big. I mean, yeah, they really do, and you just can't. What did I tell my husband one time? I'm like, okay, well, I could be fat and sane, or thin and crazy. Take your pick. I'll go either way. I don't care. We decided that, fat and sane were probably the best things that were working for our family at that time. Yeah. So like I said, at 57, I'm not gonna be a swimsuit model. I mean, I might. I don't know. I don't know. So let's get started. Again, Michael, I'm so glad you're here. I really am. I am so glad that you are here. So let's talk about some of these cases. You cannot watch TV. You cannot be on Reddit. You cannot be on YouTube. You cannot be on, any kind of news feed, right? That you don't every single other day have a case that is being solved with DNA. And when I say cases, I mean cold cases. It's who knew? Who knew, right? I mean, can you imagine? Like one of these cases, I think was in the 50s, one was in the 60s, like 1960. And obviously back then, they could only type your blood. They could only do a type of like the semen that there are so many test kits, rape kits, evidence that are in police files that need to be tested so that so we can figure this out. Also, a lot of bodies that have been found over the last 50 years, they get that, hey, PG, hello. They get these, they can identify these people. And sometimes when you can identify the person, you might be able to figure out who did it. So DNA is really, if I ever did anything to anybody, let me tell you what, I would be scared to death of DNA. I would be scared to death because like I am on ancestry.com. So, and I don't know if Ancestry is the one, there's a couple of these companies that they put everything into a data, into the CODIS and all that. I'm fine with that. Take my DNA. I ain't gonna know. But we're going to come up with I got about four cases. Like I said, we're going to slide in there. Peachy, I love you. I love you. I love all of you. I missed y'all. I mean, I was around like in chats and, I did have a couple of streams where I showed my ass. No way, right? Not shaded. But, hold on. My assistant's here. Okay, Nightbot is saying thumbs it up, so he's not cussing at Kobe
No.
F you just a little while ago. I missed y'all. I did miss y'all. Hold on, but she's trying to fix that.
Hold on, wait. Turn your camera off real quick.
I gotta turn the camera off, okay? Hold on one second. I know, I love that woman right there. I want my hair just like hers. Nightbot's acting a fool. Hold on. We got it? We good? What's going on?
There's a weird border.
Oh, okay.
Now when you turn your camera on,
you're
bigger.
I'm bigger.
Well, you're not.
Oh shit. Oh, I am bigger. That's really big.
It was like this before.
Oh. This is my new shirt I got at the Goodwill. It says love who you want to love.
Yeah, it looked like that before.
Oh shit, look at me. Why am I got that look on my face? That's weird.
You were talking.
I was talking. All right, we're gonna add it. Hold on, where's my fucking...
Yeah, you can't.
All right, I'm gonna bring up my photos. You ready? Y'all ready? I'm gonna put me real little. I'm gonna put myself little over here.
You're good right there.
You think?
Little. Yeah, you're good.
All right, I like that.
Better.
Oh,
I didn't know you could do that.
Michael, my daughter is a proud LBGTKQR159. Say hello, Catherine, to everyone.
Hey guys.
There she
Who's
goes.
Michael.
Michael is Hope and Faith, 1963.
Hey Michael. I actually hate gay people, so.
Ran. Hello, Ran. I know. The hair. I know the hair.
All right, guys.
I got my hair done. Friday. I got my hair done. People, it needed to be done. We cut it. We're good. Half Flight's going. Cat.
I shut the door behind
Hey,
me.
giddy up.
I shut the door behind me. Guys, the cats are opening doors.
Let me see. Hold on. Janie.
Jane, puppy.
Say hello. Come here. Oh, well, he's little. That's my little boy. Look at this. Look at this angel. Oh, he's such a fat boy. Hello, you, Bubba. All right. Get out. Right. So, Janie, I've got some things that maybe we can do a collab. Also, let me mention this before we get into this. I will be resuming the caretaker support streams. Janie helps with that. People have asked for me to bring it back. It's coming back. We're just gonna go pick up as usual, and we're gonna do our stuff. So that's coming up. I'll let you know when. All right. So let's talk about this first case, and it's pretty famous. I mean, if you watched I'm in the original Unsolved Mysteries. I know y'all have to remember that, and this case was on there, and I just remembered it, and it was the Austin, Texas. I can't believe it's yogurt murders that happened December 6th, 1991. So these girls were two of them were working at the shop, and around midnight on December. Let's go back. There we go. At the store, we had 17-year-old Jennifer Harbison, Eliza Thomas. Both they were 17. They were employees, and they were getting ready to close up the store at around 11. Also in the store that night was Jennifer's younger sister, Sarah, 15, and Amy Ayers, which was a friend, who was 13. They were waiting to get a ride home from Jennifer. And around midnight on the 6th, 1991, a patrolman reported a fire at the shop. Okay. So they got in there. The first responders discovered the bodies of the 4 girls. They were killed execution style. Some of them were together. Their hands were bound up. One of the girls was like over here, right, in another room, because she had been sexually assaulted by this person. And they were all dead. So, what do you do there? There was a couple that were in there, and they said that just before closing, 2 men were at a table acting, kind of odd. There was also, they had let one man use the bathroom, Rob. And what they think he did was go, while he was back at the bathroom, went and unlocked the back door so he could get in. So this had to happen right after 11 o'clock, right when they shut it down. So, yeah, Amy Ayers was the one. She was 13 that had been assaulted. They were killed with a .22 firearm and a .38 pistol, and a couple of kids around their age. Let me find them. A couple of kids around their age, boys. Here is everyone responding to it. Here is this happened in 1991. All right. And we had some children, basically, who at the time, for whatever reason, confessed that they had done it. They had the guns, the same type of guns, and this stayed up forever. Here are the boys. Obviously, they're men right there. So 2 of these boys said that they basically said they did it. I know. Well, yeah, we did it. After police interrogated them, they decided these kids did not do anything. They did not do it. I don't know why you would even want to, why you want to confess to that. But they figured out they just didn't do it. Sarah, Eliza, and Jennifer were all gagged and bound with their own underwear. All three had been severely charred and shot in the back of the head. Now, can you imagine we are here in December of 1991? Your two children, your two daughters, are murdered in a horrific way. How do you go on? I will never understand that. How do you go on year after year after year after year? I'll tell you. So basically the case was it's unsolved. They had no idea. They didn't know who did it. They didn't think these boys did it. So then we can move on. Let's move on. We got a new detective on it after a few years. We had a new detective, and the new detective decided he was going to bring those boys in and talk to them. And he did. And he admittedly was a little tough on them, a little tough. And basically, he came to the conclusion that these four boys did kill them. So two of them quickly were cleared. The other two went through a trial. They were convicted. One was on one got the death penalty, and the other one got life in prison. Because the new detective decided that they had done it. I don't know if he took the easy way out. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. But they were this was in 1990. They were in jail from 1999, okay, on up. So Robert Springsteen and Michael Scott, those were the two. When they went to trial, the confessions was the only evidence that this cop had. That's it. The guns weren't the ones that killed the girls, right? But these kids confessed, and that's the only piece of evidence there was, and you can't really call that evidence, can you? Yeah, I can't. So again, that was all because of the horrific nature of the crime. The two were convicted of capital murder. Springsteen was sentenced to death. Scott was sentenced to life. So then we move over in 2005. Okay, so let's see. 1999. There we go. 2005. Springsteen and his lawyers, right, said, "Listen, let's get some DNA here. Let's run some DNA tests." Luckily, I say, they had a swab of Amy's essay, and they had, thank God, preserved it correctly. And when they tested that, they realized that these boys were not the ones that had done it. In October 28th, 2009, all the charges were dropped against the two boys. Two of the other boys, one was Maurice Pierce. He was killed after a traffic stop. So this is where these boys went. He was killed after a traffic stop. He was being followed by the cops, pulled out a knife, and they killed him. And then the other one, same thing, didn't fare well. So in September 2026 of 2025, Austin police announced that they had the DNA of the man who sexually assaulted Amy. That man's name was Robert Eugene Brasher. And let's take a look at this little monster. There he is. Turns out he was a serial killer. He was a serial killer. What do you know about that? I want to mention one thing too. In 2022, Joe Biden signed into a law the Homicide Victims Family Rights Act, which was motivated by this crime. He signed into law that ensured that federal law enforcement review cold cases and apply the latest technology and investigative standards. Now, you tell me this. Why did we have to have that put into law? Let's ask ourselves that, right? Why would that not be a thing? I'm going to tell you why it's not a thing. Because DNA testing like this is very expensive. It is very expensive. I can tell you when we talked about the Fort Worth trio, and there was a girl and her boyfriend that had gotten killed around the same time those girls disappeared. They preserved her dress, right? And through, I think it was a $50,000 grant, $50,000 grant, they were able to test that girl's dress and get the DNA of the person who killed both of them. All right. He didn't serve, like, he did now. He did go to jail for a little bit, the guy that did it, but so yeah, that's why I guess it has to be signed in the law. When we get to the Golden State Killer, you're really going to be bad. You're going to be bad. All right. So September 26, 2005, Austin police announced that Robert Eugene Brasher, a serial killer, through the investigative genetic geology, there we go, in 2018 had linked him to it. Now, he committed suicide during a standoff in 1999. He had his wife and his 2 children in a stolen car. They stopped at a motel, whatever. A cop ran the license plate, I don't know why, and figured out that it was stolen. He held his family hostage for a while. Then he let them all go, and then he committed suicide. He killed people in Florida, all up and down the East Coast. I can't remember, and I don't know if I wrote it down how many, but it was a lot. He was indeed a serial killer. And that's been solved. Let's go. We're going to keep going. These are the people that he killed. It's a lot. Rape, murder, rape, murder. So yeah, he was, hey, sweet Melissa, how are you? I'm glad to see you. I'm back, baby. I'm back. So these were just some of his crimes. And we're going to talk about some of these. All right. So next we're going to do this little sweet thing. Hold on. Let me go back. Hold on. I got to find, hold on. Where's my Golden State? Do not tell me I did not do that. Oh my God. Hold on. We have the Golden State Killer. I cannot believe I've not done this. Hold on. Where the hell? Hold on. Talk amongst yourself. How did I not load the damn Golden? How did I not do that? Okay. Hold on. We're getting it. I'm sorry. I didn't load them. I don't know why I didn't load them, but I didn't load them. So we're going to have to load them up. Golden State Killer. Now, that was obviously in California. And I'll talk about him while we try to get these things loaded up. He started out as a burglar. And he quickly accelerated himself into a rapist and a murderer. He had many different names. He was the Golden State Murderer. He was the Ransacker. I mean, he's got a lot of he had a lot of different names in his little, hold on. I can't believe I didn't put him in there. I can't believe it. But I didn't. So we're just going to take a look at him now. Let's see. Let's put this right here. I don't think y'all can see this, but if you can, let me know. Hold on. I'm sorry. I didn't know why I didn't do this. I think I jumped ahead. That's what I did when I was loading them up today. It's been a while, y'all. I got to work out the kinks, baby. We'll just put this one up. This is really all we need. All right. So we have the Golden State Killer. I'm so sorry. I don't think y'all can see this. We'll talk about him anyway. How did I not do that? All right. I'm sorry. I blame Catherine. So we're going to look at this little sweet thing right here. Hold on. We're going to take that down. Golden State Killer. All right. So he was known as the ransacker, because he would go to people's homes and ransack them, the East Area Rapist, the original Night Stalker, and he had his crimes included 13 murders, over 50 sexual assaults, over 50. Keep that number in your mind, because I'm going to talk about that. 120 burglaries across multiple counties: Sacramento, Contra Costa, Santa Barbara, Ventura, and Orange in California. He committed his first known murder, okay, in 1975 during an attempt to kidnap someone. 4 decades, for 40 years, okay, he eluded police. And because of one of those kits, one of those things, they had a little thing of DNA. They figured out that the first thing they figured out is he was all of these people. He was the original Night Stalker. I'm not talking about Ramirez. I'm not talking about him. He was the, East Area Rapist. He was all of these people. They thought, oh, okay, well, there we go. The East Area Rapist and the original Night Stalker were not linked together until 2001, when DNA analysis linked them. So that's when they know he was all of these people. So we'll break down the crimes, okay? Burglary. He had over 100 burglaries between 1974 and 1975. So you got to think, over 100, and you do 12 months, maybe give him 13, 14 months. Yeah, no. The rapes, he escalated to sexual assaults, with 51 sexual assaults in Sacramento from 1976 to 1977. That's 51 sexual assaults. I know I keep saying the R word, but whatever. I mean, it is what it is. And then we got to the murders. All right. So 13 murders occurring in between 1980 up until 1986. This guy was a real winner. So after the last known murder was a woman named Janelle Cruz in 1986. He stopped after that. This guy had been a police officer for a very short amount of time. He was a police officer. So he kind of knew, how to do that, how to get away with it. In 2020, let's go. We won't do that there. And I could sit here and I could name all the victims. We could go through all that. I don't want to do that. That's a lot of things. That's a lot. And it's really sad. I think maybe that's why when you're doing this research, hey, Vicky, when you're doing this research, right, it's very depressing and it's very sad. And I get angry, quite frankly. I get very angry because this, I get it. We didn't have it back then. We didn't know what DNA was. I get it. I get it. But a beast like this was able to get away with this. His last known in 1986. Why did he stop? I'm so sorry. I have to. Okay, Michael, I appreciate you for coming. I really do. And I'll see you tomorrow. Okay. Yeah, go. I'm sorry, honey. But thank you for coming. I appreciate you. Hey, Rand. I love you, Rand. So they figured out that this guy on April 24th, 2018, that Joseph James D'Angelo, who was a former police officer, was identified as the Golden State Killer using DNA and genetic genealogy. So he was charged with 8 counts of first-degree murder. And he was charged with 13 kidnapping and abduction attempts. But guess, I love you too, babe. Guess what he wasn't charged with? I'll give you a second. The sexual assault. What did I say? 50? 51? 51. 51. And why wasn't he convicted of those? Well, because the statute of limitations had taking them out of play. Now, I went and researched it. Every state has got a different statute when it comes to sexual assaults. Some of them are open. Some of them have to be, I guess within 18 years of. It's a lot of bullshit, really. All right. Yeah, I mean, it is what I'm telling you, Michael, before you go, why I do this. Nobody's talking about these people. Nobody's talking about these people. Well, they are now. That's why I get old ones. Nobody, all right, so we have Kieran Horman. Kieran is not being discussed. He's been missing since, nobody's talking about him. Nobody. A lot of these people that I bring up, nobody's talking about them anymore. It's just a mystery. So that's what drives me. So he was not. Let me tell you some of the stuff he did, just a little bit of it. So his first known victim, his first murder, Katie Metler, in the summer of 1979, he assaulted her and then left and said, I'll kill you and everybody else if you tell them. All right, that's a big thing. We know that happens a lot. He began to kill people in 1978. He went to he killed a lot of couples. He would go into their home. He would tie them up. He would sexually assault the wife. He would end up killing the man and the woman. Can you imagine that horror? That was the man. Did he, questions. Did he do this in front of the husband? Did he assault the wife? I mean, what the hell? And then he would go and eat their food. This was horrible. It's just a lot. I mean, when they went in the first murder with the couple, they would come into the patio, the cops, and there was he had taken their Christmas dinner that was left over and ate it after he murdered them. I hope it was after he murdered me. I don't know. But he did that a lot. He killed couples in Ventura, Dana Point, ate their food, and then, just left. What I would tell you to do is check with your state and see what that limitation is on sexual assault. And if you don't like the answer, change the answer. If you don't like the answer to that question, change the. Okay, hey, watch this. We're going over cold cases that were solved recently by DNA. And I got about 4 here that I'm going to talk about. If you don't like the answer to the, statute of limitations on sexual assault, shouldn't be that hard. Gather your people and change that answer. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I don't know how you can do that. I don't know how. You have somebody come to you, you're a policeman, whatever, and they come to you and sorry. Yeah, we found you. Yeah, we found out who your sexual assault. Yeah, we found out who raped you, but I'm sorry, we can't charge him because the statute of limitations is over. So say he hadn't killed anybody. Say all he did was rape 50 people, and they found his DNA in 2018. All right, because his last known one was 1986, and they find him. And then they tell you, oh, yeah, we found who did it. Sorry, statute of limitations. He's still out here. Sorry, we couldn't do it. Change that. It's not that hard. So what I also want to know is this. Why did he stop in 1986? He ain't talking. All right. There's a, let me see. What show was that? It was the King of Queens. It was the one of the guys on King of Queens was married to an author, and she wrote a book about the Golden State Killer. And at that point, they were closing in. Okay, they were closing in on this guy, and she actually died of a brain aneurysm. And I will never forget seeing him at a show. And he said, "You did it, baby. You did it. He's caught." He's still alive right now. He's 80 some years old. He's still alive. But I want to know, what made him stop between 1986 and why did you stop? He ain't talking. He ain't talking at all. So, there we go. There we go. Look at porn. I certainly will. I certainly will. These things have got to, they've got to be solved. They've got to be. So let me go and let me add this little look at her. This is a case that was 61 years old. 61 years old. And it was solved through DNA recently. This is a trip. Hold on. This is going to be a ride, okay? This is Mary Teresa Simpson. She was 12 years old, and in 1964, she was last seen March 15th, around 6:30 in Elmira, New York. So 4 days later, so she went missing, all right? I'll give you a little backstory on her. Her mother and father divorced. She went to live with her father because the mother, I can't remember why the mother couldn't take her. It wasn't for lack of, love. The father just took custody. And then they moved to another, part of the world there, and the mother only got to see her every couple of months. But then they moved back. Her and her dad moved back to Elmira. Okay, so she goes and she says, "Listen, I'm going to go and see my cousins." Okay. And the father was like, "Sure. All right. Just be careful." They weren't that far away. What she actually did that day was go to her mother's house and visit her mother. Her mother had nothing to do with this. Please know, I'm just telling you what happened that day, that particular day. So, and then she eventually did get to her cousin's house, and she left there around 6:30 p.m. on March 15th. Never seen again. Saw her outside like a little bodega, and she went missing. And the father called the police. The police at first were not concerned. We've all been through this. We know this. We've been here before. That if it's a child, they will, especially this child, there was some kind of, the dynamics between the parents, that she probably ran away. All right, 12-year-old little girl runs away. We've heard more idiotic shit than that when we covered the 7 and 8-year-olds that were missing from a mental health hospital. And the 7 or 8-year-old must have just run away. So they thought she had run away. Then they quickly, after searching buildings and abandoned homes and junkyards, they finally said, "You know what?" The police called the district attorney and said, "We think this is going to not end well." I know, Peachy, I'm sorry. It is acting the fuck up. Why it's cussing me out. Hey, STA. I'm sorry, coming in. I didn't see. I'm sorry. So, all right, I keep wanting to fix my bra. Hold on. There we go. We got the girls. Yes, anyway, pretty quickly the police said, "Yeah, this is not good. This is not a runaway." All right. So on March 19th, after the police talked to everybody around, nobody knew anything. She was discovered on March 19th. Her body was frozen. It was fully clothed. It was under trees and branches and leaves, and 4 giant stones had been put on top of her body. One of those stones was 100 pounds. So this person hit her very well. I mean, I did. Who knows? It was going to work. The only thing that you could see of her when they found her body under all that stuff was part of her hand and her tennis shoe. Hey, Georgia. Hello, Susan, Georgia Peach. I love you. All they could see was a hand and a tennis shoe. It is an act of God that they found her anyway, because you think she's frozen. She's not going to thaw out, and being under all that stuff, especially stones. So that is the one huge what do you call that? I don't even that the odds of finding her were very slim, especially hid that well. So, and she was fully clothed. All right. But so they didn't do that. They didn't do all that. They interviewed 300 suspects. They the $1,000 reward. Then it was increased to 5,000, and there was still nothing, right? So in 2003, the state forensic investigators determined that fluids on her skirt were semen. Now, we've got the completely unbelievable way she was found just by somebody seeing a hand and a shoe. Okay, that's against the odds. Now in 2003, they're looking at her dress, and it wasn't seen by the naked eye. That's how little this sample was. But they determined that it was semen. Okay, so they got it, and it was so fragile. Okay, so let's do this. They got it, and they kept it, and it was recovered. And again, they kept that for years. They did not have, they didn't have, it had been run through DNA. When it was run through DNA, however, there was a company that was willing to look for it, to test it. Again, they have to get grants for this. So, a $50,000 grant, $75,000 grant, it's only going to say one person. Or, and that was this little girl. So you remember this winter, we had a lot of ice storms here in the east, right? We had a lot of ice storms. We had a lot of snow. Well, right about that time, the sample was being sent from New York down to Florida. Nope, sorry, that's a lie. Tennessee. But the ice storm froze everything up, pardon the pun. So that package that they needed to be very careful with was now stuck somewhere in a warehouse for a UPS, all right? And they needed that shit done quickly, all right? So somebody that worked at the UPS said, all right, I'll find it. Like, I will go and find it, because this was one of the biggest hubs of UPS, and it was a standstill. So it was found. It was then sent straight down to Florida, where, guess what? They got DNA off that little bitty not seen by the human eye semen. She weathered the being discovered. She weathered the being fully clothed. The damn dress was even preserved anyway. I think it was put in ice. If I am not, I want to say it was frozen, but I could be wrong. And then you get the damn, you got the grant, you got the money, you're sending it down there, and a damn ice storm, seriously, has it stuck, and again, fished out in the nick of time. And they found out that it was, and let me see, let's look. Let me see this little 12-year-old. Can you believe it? Here is some of the little evidence. There's her little glasses, and the little, was it a Jungle J? I mean, she was 12. So they find out this creep right here. They found out that his name was what a fucking creep. I mean, I hate looking at these people. Anyway, I'm sorry. I hate this. Yeah, so they fished it out. The DNA belonged to a person, and his name was Alfred Murray. So, but through this genealogy, right, they said, oh, wait a minute, we've got some, I think because what they do is they get it and they work backwards up, okay? They work. So they have to build this family, and it's a lot of work. I mean, it's a lot of work. So they figured out this asshole did it right here. He ended up, his son, he was dead. They're all always dead. I mean, I will say that D'Angelo was alive, and he's still alive. But this son of a bitch was dead right here. So they went to his family. They went to his children. And the children, they gave up their DNA. They said, yeah, absolutely. And it was him. The odds of it not being him, the odds of the DNA belonging to another person was 1 in 320 billion. So yeah, he did it. And again, I don't know why he did it. Nobody knows obviously why he did it. This thing wasn't solved until February 2026. I mean, February 2026. This happened 61 years ago. So let's look at that one. The odds of her being found, the odds of the dress being preserved, the odds of getting that one piece of little something that's not even visible and having it shipped, the odds of having a giant ice storm and your evidence is tick, 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 ticking away, in a warehouse somewhere, and then you find it. And then you get him. There he is. And he's dead. Nobody knows why I did this. Nobody knows. I mean, I think I did the math on it. He was around like 30 years old when he did this. As far as we know, never didn't kill anybody else. I mean, how do you do that? How are you killing a little girl like this? And you're not see what I'm saying? What made you do it? Why? I don't know. I mean, we're not ever going to know. He's dead. We're not going to find out. He was never convicted. This man was never considered a suspect. In a lot of these cases, the police usually kind of know. They want to talk to him or whatever. He was not even on their radar. Had no clue who this guy was. So, they didn't think that they knew each other. So he didn't know the little girl. She didn't know him. And like I said, he was around 33 years old. He was married, had children. Well, how do you do that once? How do you do that once? I mean, she was literally in the wrong place at the wrong time. Not her fault, not anybody's fault. So, and again, I don't know how you just stop. Does the DNA result get in? It does. So we have CODIS, and that is its own. It's not a business. I don't think it's not a business, but it's a area. You have CODIS. Anybody that commits a felony in this country now, their DNA goes into CODIS. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. That's going to happen. If you're convicted of a crime, your DNA is taken and entered into CODIS. So, and then there's also there's a nano lab. That's really expensive. The nano labs are very expensive. Again, $50,000 or more to test one thing. One thing. $50,000. All of these police departments had to get grants for this. Okay. So you're thinking now, so let's see that. Okay. So you have this child's murder. You also have all of this other evidence of sexual assaults, other murders, all that. And how do you choose between all of that? How do you choose little Mary and her, how do you choose? The odds of this getting solved, again, astronomical. It's amazing to me. It's amazing to me that this child, that, again, back then they didn't really know how to do this. They didn't know how to, I mean, they could keep a swab, but usually it was in a, maybe a paper bag, wasn't frozen, it wasn't on a slide. They didn't know. They didn't know to do that. But some people, some of these police departments, they were good. They were really good. So, and there's her body. I didn't zoom in on that. Nope, that is not her body. That's not her body. Hold on. Did I forget to fucking do these two? Oh my God. I am retarded. All right, I'm sorry. I didn't do these either. I didn't blow these up. Let me pull them up though. So we had a double murder, and this happened in 1956. I cannot believe I've done these fucking things. What is wrong with me? I am not at all well. You can tell I ain't done this in a minute. But wait, did I load the wrong one? Did I load the wrong one? Hold on. I probably didn't load the wrong one. All right, I'm sorry. So the next one, y'all gonna have to forgive me because I don't fucking know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. All right, let me stop. Let me share this. Hold on. Let me find it. I can't believe I'm gonna do this. I can believe it. Actually, I can believe it. I am not at all well. All right, let me get these kids up here. Every one of these fucking Great Falls Tribune. They want me to buy a damn subscription to read one article. Are you stupid? I ain't. I ain't. All right, and that's the same one. You fuck off, Great Falls. There should be a law. Hold on, I'm gonna pull up these kids' pictures. I can't believe I was so proud of myself. I told Catherine I loaded them up. All right, let me make this bigger. And then I'm going to show you these kids, these God babies. This case was cold for 65 years. It was committed in 1956. So let me unshare. Let me take this down. Hold on, I'm going to take this down. You get out. Okay, thank you. And then we're going, Susan, do you like my hair? Oh, yes, absolutely. Yeah, Halloween Baby. They, again, with him, they didn't know they had 4 different rapists, murderers, whatever, and they thought they were different people. Once they got the DNA, they figured out they were all Mr. D'Angelo. They figured they didn't know it was D'Angelo at the time. So then when they found that out, it was not that hard to do. And a lot of these people, their children are very nice, and they do. Hold on. They help out. I mean, let me see. I think I got this up. Let me make sure. Okay. You can tell I've not done. Nope, I do not want that. Why did I do that? Take me off. Oh my God. Hold on, I gotta put it back on. Susan, you should have made sure that I was ready to do this. I blame Susan. I blame Susan. All right, we're gonna go. Hold on. I'm gonna go get it. Hold on. You can look at these beautiful this little sweet couple. My God, it could have been any one of us ever. All right. No. What did I do? Hold on, guys. I can't believe I've done this. I can't believe I've done this. Oh, I had it right. Shit. Fuck. All right. All right. We're going to share this. And here we go. And here we fucking go. All right. Yeah. Here we go. Sorry. I'm sorry, guys. This is the couple. Let me make sure y'all can see it. Okay. This little couple right here. So this is Lloyd Bogle and Patricia Koletsky right here. I know it's a horrible thing. I know. Hold on, I'm trying to make it bigger. So here they are. And now they were, she was 16, he was 18. This happened in Great Falls, Montana. They went out on a date. He was in the, I want to say Air Force, I think. There was a base there. And she was a junior in high school. And they went out on a date. They went on a little date. He had actually stayed at their house. The parents let him, it was 1956. So not, but because he was away from home, they'd let him come. That he had Christmas with them and all that great stuff. And so when they went out on a date and they were going to just go and get something to eat or whatever, and they did that, and they were last seen at a little like drive-in movie place, and then they went to where do we go? To Lover's Lane. That's where they went after that. So they didn't come home, obviously. Her parents, this is so sad. Her parents thought to themselves, please God, just please let them have gone and eloped. Just let them have eloped. Please let that happen. Make that be it. And it was not. The next day, they found Lloyd. He was dead, obviously. He was bound with his hands behind his back, with his own belt. He was forced to kneel in the dirt by his car and then shot execution style in the back of the head. So that would have been on January 3rd. Let me stop sharing this real quick because I can't. Oh, fucking hell! Oh, gigantic. Here we go. So yeah, they found him the next day. The killer didn't take money. He didn't take valuables. He didn't turn the car off. The car was running with its headlights on the next day, if you can believe that. So three boys were hiking a couple of days later, and Patty was found. Patty was found. She had been sexually assaulted at least once. She had been moved, a couple of miles away, and let's put that back up because this is her body, found down there. And again, three boys were hiking and they found her body on January 4th. I don't know. I gotta make sure I'm up to date. Yes. So the newspaper reports say that she was fully clothed when she was found. And a swab was taken. Even though they had no evidence of there being an assault, they took a swab of her, thank God they did, because if they hadn't done that, even though they didn't think that she had been sexually assaulted, and quite frankly, had there been any, you would think it would have been Lloyd, right? I mean, that would you would think. But when they got this DNA, hold on, let's go. Let me go. Okay, so it remained unsolved. So over the years, persons of interest come and they go. That happens with every case. Come and go. Do you think this is years and years and years? This is 1956. I mean, God, nothing ever came of anything. In 2001, a very well-preserved swab on a microscope was sent to the Montana State Crime Lab. This is 2001, okay? The lab finally got a break in the case when they figured out that semen did not belong to Lloyd. So that was not, all right, so we know that was not Lloyd, who she was, I keep saying the R word. They probably knock me out. Anyway, so they figured out it was not him. So then we had to wait a couple more years. Okay. And then the sample they compared it to 35 men, including, gangster Whitey Bulger. You don't know who Whitey Bulger is. Well, I just told you, he was a gangster. And I think he stayed on the run for many years. He was only caught, I want to say at least maybe 10 or 15 years ago. And he was in California living a normal life with the girlfriend that he had the whole time he was a gangster. And why they tested him, I have no idea. But again, they found out it wasn't Lloyd's. So detectives spread it. Okay, everyone was ruled out. In 2014, retired Great Falls Police Detective John Cameron wrote a book claiming that Edward Wayne Edwards. Can you imagine? Why would you name your kid Edward Edwards? Well, whatever. That's why he's a murderer. Had also killed. Yeah, this guy's a little kooky. This Mr. Cameron. He stated that this man, Edward Edwards, killed JonBenet Ramsey. He claims that this man also killed Jimmy Hoffa, and then he claimed that this man was also the Zodiac Killer. We've gone over the Zodiac Killer. If you don't know, go back and look. So this loon wrote a book. I would love to find that. Yeah, it was on the run for a long time. Here, I mean, can you imagine this? So this man would have killed JonBenet Ramsey, Jimmy Hoffa, and he was the Zodiac Killer. 2 years before Cameron's book, in 2012, Detective Sergeant Cadner was handed the Lover's Lane case after, I mean, you think 56, right? 1956. And then we've got 2010, he's handed the case. And again, he the detective digitalized everything in the file, which took a long time, but I guess you do have to do that now, don't you? I mean, it's got to be, you can't go fumbling through shit. It's not there. And then the sample was there, and they found it, and they sent it again to another lab in 2019. They constructed a reverse family tree from a cousin's profile. And that is when they nailed this little asshole right here. Let's look at him. There he is. Ugh. I mean, no. So his name was Kenneth Gould. And he lived about a mile from Patty. He was a horse trainer. That is what he did. That is what his family did. Now, he lived a mile from her. But he would a lot of times ride the horses around that area, where she lived. Now, did he stalk her? Nobody knows. Okay, nobody knows how these two children were. How does any murder victim chosen? I don't know. I have no idea. So they got him. I mean, this is him. Not a whole lot. There was a whole lot of, I can figure out ages, right? I can figure out ages from looking at who was born when and the date that it occurred, the murder. And I'm pretty good at that. It's called subtraction. I couldn't figure out when this guy was born. So I couldn't tell you how old he was when he did this. But looking at this ugly son of a bitch, can you imagine this being this is the last face you saw on earth? If you can't get a better look at that. Look at that. That's disgusting. So they found him. What he had done actually is about a year after this murder, he left town. He moved to another place in Montana, kind of far away. And then he moved again to another state, and he never went back. All right. Okay. So, yeah, hold on. A horse trainer. Can you even imagine? What a gross. Anyway, he died in May 31st, 2007. None of these people, except DeAngelo, were held responsible. They all died in the 2000s. I guess you got to have faith, right? This is where faith serves you. Because you have to think, well, he didn't get, we didn't find out he died without justice. But if you have faith, he got what he got when he died was a million miles of anything we could dream up to do with him. That's why you gotta have faith in that. If you don't, then none of this makes any sense. Honestly, none of this shit makes sense. 60 some years that they had to wait for this. And this son of a bitch got to die. He got to live his life out. Again, don't know where he would have. I mean, apparently he didn't kill anybody else. I don't know why you would do this and then just stop. I don't know why you would do it once and then stop. I don't know a lot of things. And these assholes aren't talking. All right. So, he did have a criminal history, this guy. And some of it was for like children, but not, nothing. It was nothing like horrible, like, molestation or anything like that. It was a weird shit that he got. He was not on the radar back then at all. At all. That's another thing with these cases as well, is, you have the people that you interviewed, like the yogurt shop. those boys said, yeah, we did it. The police quickly found out they did not. And then another cop shows up and goes, yeah, 20 years later? Yeah, I think they did do it. And puts him in jail. Okay, G, we're rounding that corner, G. We're almost done, but thank you for showing up. I love you very much. I'm coming back, G, so you better just, everybody in that room need to move. As, what are you doing? Thank you. I got my hair did. Okay, so yeah, he sold his property, he moved, and he moved to Missouri in 1967, lived out his freaking life, and died. I am a part of on Reddit. It's unsolved disappearances. I'll share the link. In fact, not right now, because if I have to go find it, we're gonna be here a minute. Y'all know how I roll. Every single other day, and I am not kidding, DNA is identifying these people. DNA is identifying victims. There's some victims that they didn't have a name for 60, 70 years. All right. And they're finding out. We're ever going to get into a point in history where, look, all right. So call me crazy. Please call me crazy. I am not opposed. And y'all might be, but this is just me. I am not opposed to, if a child is born, getting that DNA at birth. Y'all might not agree. Getting that DNA at birth and keeping it. Now, it's not ever going to happen. But that way, if that child goes missing, right, we're not going to have another child end up down here. Nobody can identify if we've got the DNA. We know who it is. If we can open up this DNA, and these cases are going to start falling quicker and quicker and quicker. The problem is with the money. These little towns have to get grants. And when they get grants, they get to look at their huge stockpile of evidence and whatnot, and they have to decide out of all of these, which one do we pick? Is it the 5 sexual assaults over here? Do we do that? Or do we come over here to this child being murdered? They have to pick. They have to pick through endless pieces of evidence to have it tested. So, and again, with Golden State Killer, they found out once that started going through very quickly that this guy was all over the place. I hate bees. The person who committed the crime in Airsoft case is alive and will be facing justice. Good. Because a lot of them don't. They get to die. They get to, I think it's horrible to say, they get to live their life. Now, again, like I said, with faith, if you have faith, in your heart, and you are perfectly fine with these little assholes got exactly what was coming to them times 1 million when they died. They are in a room, a windowless existence for the rest of eternity. You got to have faith, because if not, none of this shit makes any sense. It doesn't make any sense. I've had so many of these cases. Y'all know I've got file cabinets of it. And it's just too expensive. I don't know I don't know what to do about that. I don't know what we can do about that. I don't know what we can do about that. It is what it is. And all of these cases that are sitting there waiting and degrading, maybe they weren't. So let's just think about that. So you've got, I am Detective Shannon 681, and I am just new to the force. Okay. And you're literally looking at all of this evidence that's all sealed up. We've all seen courts, where they break the seal, right, and do the testing. And it's all, God, if you watch the OJ trial, the endless bags of evidence. Also, what was the one down there in South Carolina, Murdoch, the endless bags of evidence that came in. They had to open it, you know. So you have to open it. It's got to be back there. Then you have to go and say, okay, let's look at this case over here. And then you go to the evidence. Was it stored properly? Was it kept dry? Was it kept away from other things? Is it a viable sample? You're not going to know that until you send it over to be processed, and they can tell you, just like with the Nancy Guthrie case, this piece of evidence, this DNA is not viable. We cannot figure it out. I don't know how you begin to do that. I don't know how. But that is we have now we have done it. We've got our first show back. Oh, yay. And again, if you weren't here, all of the rapes that the Golden State Killer committed, over 50 of them, he cannot be prosecuted for those because the statute of limitations on sexual assault was passed. It was over. So again, I'll tell you this. Check your state. See what that statute of limitations is on sexual assault. And if you don't like the answer, change the answer. I don't think there's anybody on earth that would go, you know what? No, I think that's fine. I think that, SA should absolutely, that should have statute of limitations on it. That shouldn't ever. I've watched one who killed Sonia. Solved it for 2 years. Yeah, it's happening every day. It's happening every single. Hey, Carrie, my love, how are you, girl? So go check your state. If you don't like the answer, help change it. I mean, it makes me so. I got so mad. And I looked up my state, which was Virginia. There's a lot of gray in this too. There's a lot of gray areas. I was telling y'all, it could be 18 years after it happened, or 18 years after you realize, if you go through regression, it can be 18 years since starting at the day that you realized you were assaulted, and check it. If you don't like it, change it. It will not be that hard to do. It will not be that hard to do, because I don't think there's a woman or man out there that's going to say, we need to look that. Yeah, we don't need to know that. We don't need to know that. Yeah, you do. You do. I think I'm done. I can't believe I didn't load. I can't believe I didn't load. I didn't load the fucking pictures right. This is what happens when I do it. When I start loading them at one time, and I think I've got them because I'm looking. I can show you all the the screenshots that I've got, whatever. And I go through, and I do it. If I do it in one day, Susan has spoken to me after 9 o'clock at night. I am not good for anything after 9 o'clock at night. I think yesterday I started to load the photographs, and I think I thought I did it because I have to go through all, I have to pass all of these other photographs to do it. I just thought I'd done it. I don't know. It's my first show back, so we're gonna expect some, fuckery to go on. I'm just can't believe I got any of them done. But anyway, so next week, Kieran Foreman. This is another case that is just, I don't know how you can get away. I don't know how you can get away with simply not talking. The stepmother that raised him, not because his mother was incompetent, nothing like that. Kyron's mother and father divorced, I think, when she was pregnant with him. Honestly, didn't last long. The father met this lunatic, Terry. That's the stepmother. Kyron's mother had some kind of kidney thing, and I can't remember what it was. But she had to go to Canada to get treatment because we know here in the United States, healthcare is not. Oh, thank you, Halloween baby. tequila shot last night. Carrie, if I do a tequila shot, I can do maybe two, maybe two. After that, I want to fight. I want to fight. I can't do tequila. I cannot do it. I've tried it. It's not good. Yeah. So this stepmother, because the real mother had to go to Canada because she didn't want to die. And Terry was the stepmother and took care of them. And I'm going to go through that with you because this woman was a bit of a lunatic. I'm sorry. Going through her life and some of the stuff that she did, it doesn't make sense. She didn't make sense at all. I don't know why he married her. I have no idea. But yeah, she raised Kieran as her own. I don't think she called him her stepson. I think and I don't know what could have happened. I do not know what could have happened. She was very anal retentive on a lot of shit, Miss Terry there was. But I don't understand how you can be told. She went on Dr. Phil. Oh, yeah, I watched it. And she was like, well, the police and the lawyers and everything told me just not to say anything. I wish I could say stuff, but I can't. You should be able to be tied up to something right there. Tie her up to something and give her a couple of charges right there, a couple of electrical charges. Let that bitch talk. Fuck that shit. Where you just don't get, she did something. Again, I can't give it away, but obviously, please go look it up. Yeah, that's why I tell people what I'm going to do early because y'all can look it up. She had some fuckery going on that day. That day that he disappeared, she did not make a lot of sense. Another thing that kills me is she took Kieran to school that morning, 8:45 in the morning. They'd had a science fair the day before. All the kids took their science projects to their classroom. And then the very next day, all of them were set up around the school. She gets out. She gets Kyron. She gets the baby that they have. She goes into the school. She takes a picture of Kyron in front of his tree frog exhibit. She goes around and looks at all of them, okay? And she leaves. I can't remember when. I'll have to look at my notes. She leaves and does some very bizarre things. Very bizarre things. However, nobody saw her leave with Kyron. She says the last time she saw Kyron, he was walking down the main hall towards his classroom. It's the last time she saw him. Another child puts him in the school around the south entrance. I'm still trying to figure that shit out. And then when they went through all of the photos and stuff that every parent took of their own kids, there is one photograph of Kyron near his little project there. Nobody saw him walk out with her. It's like he walked down that hall and into nothing. Y'all know from being with me, that shit happens a lot. Where somebody just walks out the door and they are gone. So, but some of the things that she did were very odd that afternoon. And that case is not solved. And we don't have his body. And it's been a long time. And again, I don't know how parents deal with that. I don't know why Terry's alive because I am not wrapped too tightly. I have never, ever, ever denied that. If I thought that you put your finger on my kid, you'd be dead. I say that, but you can't do that because one day she might tell us. She ain't gonna fucking tell us. That woman, that mother and the father and the stepfather, they have got there are some amazing people because I would have lost my mind. I would have probably, but this woman's living a life. She got remarried. She's living in California. This Terry, the stepmother, and we still don't have this boy. And we still have parents of this boy who were doing what they needed to do. The mother wanted to live. The only way she could do that was go to Canada and get some, to get treatment. His dad remarried to this woman. She was a teacher, and very kind and whatnot, and thought this was ideal, and I guess it was for a while. But without her telling us why, we're never gonna know. So she doesn't have her daughter. She had one son. Okay, one son when she met Kane is his name, Kane Horwin, and then they had a daughter, little Kiana, I think is her name, and that child was with them obviously that day, that morning. I'll give you this real quick, and then we'll end it. There's one part where she's going through her day. And mind you, we've got cell towers now, so they kind of know where she was. She claims that her daughter had an earache and that she gave that child some medicine and then rode around in all of these odd spots to calm the child down. The child was 18 months old, so that child's not talking about what she saw. But she said, yeah, I gave her some medicine. Now, I don't know if that was prescribed medicine, if it was Tylenol for an earache. I don't know. I might find out, but I don't know. She claims the daughter had an earache. She gave her some medicine, and she drove around to calm the child down because the child was in pain and letting the medicine kick in. But then he goes to the gym for about an hour. So your daughter's earache was so bad that you had to give her Advil, Tylenol, whatever. You had to ride her around to ease her pain. And then you took her out of the car and put her into the nursery at the gym for an hour. I guess it could happen, but that makes sense to me. And this was back, and I can do this too. And I swear to God, I'm going to be done after this. So when my children were smaller, if they were absent in elementary school, middle school, whatever, we would get a call at the end of the day that they were absent. A lot of us got together and said, as parents, and said, no. We need to know if they aren't in school that morning, because if something's happened, a lot of these kids would be at bus stops, right? I always took my children, but a lot of these kids were at bus stops. If something happened, you would have to wait all effing day to realize that the child never made it to school. That's kind of what this was. They didn't call you in the morning. The parents went out there to meet him at the school bus. He didn't get off. He was marked absent at 10 a.m. in the morning. Again, their policy was not to call to the end of the day. Stupid policy. If y'all check your area, make sure it's done in the morning, because again, that's an 8-hour, lead kickstart that they've got. They're gone. And the child wasn't on, and that's when all shit hit the fan that day. So again, we're going to talk about that next Saturday night. And then I have another one. I can't remember what it's about, but I'll put it down there. So I'm back. I'm back, bitches. I've got brown hair. Can y'all see hold on. I've got little, God, let's do that. I got the brown, the blonde, and I've got these streaks of like a strawberry blonde. I'm telling you, I'm feeling myself today, ladies and gentlemen, feeling myself today. So thank y'all for coming. I appreciate it very much. We're working the kinks down. It'll be fine. By next week, I promise you I will not. I will have relearned how to add photos to things. Yeah. And again, if you ever want to suggest a case, and I know I say this all the time, put it in the comments, email me, whatever you want to do. I'll be glad to look at it. Yeah. Carrie, if you want to do one, you go right ahead. She put him in an old way. It's something. Yeah, Halloween. It's something. There's a lot out there. There's a lot. It's it's like the I can see her face. I can see her face. Powell, Susan Powell. Susan Powell. Married with the 2 sons. It was wintertime. She didn't show up for work. The idiot husband said, "Oh yeah, no, we went camping." It was snowing, by the way, and very deep, and him and his boys went camping. And so he didn't know what happened. And I think one of the sons said, Mommy was asleep. Mommy was asleep. And then that idiot, we found that his father was a complete weirdo. And then he had only supervised visits for the children. And they came to his house. The social worker brought him. He yanks them inside, slams the door, locks her out. She's calling the police, and he is gas all over that house, and he kills all of them. Him and his 2 sons. People are fucking weird. I follow that case every single day. Yeah. It's again, I'm never sometimes I'm shocked at what one human can do to another human. It shocks me. Sometimes it really does. What a human can do to a child, what an adult human can do to a child, that always shocks me. It always shocks me. That's why I like to talk about these older ones, because nobody's talking about Kyron right now. Nobody's talking about him right now. What I do, the next one that I do, nobody's talking about them. Hold on, it might be in this book. Oh, honey is right. It's in this book somewhere because I started it. Can't believe I don't have it. It's here somewhere. I can't remember it when I can't find it. I don't write in a notebook like everybody else, like from front to back. I go back and forth, back and forth. If I get tired of doing this case, I'll go to this case over here, and then I go back to this one over here. Ooh, I got a lead over here. Anyway, I'll let you know. I'll let you know. It's somewhere. That'll be the week after that. And again, it's people that nobody's talking about. And I'm going to do, like I told you before, I was going to do the newer ones as well, the newer cases as well. And then every once in a while, we'll throw in the solved by, DNA many years later, because it is absolutely fascinating the rate these things are getting solved. Thank God, right? Thank God. So that is tonight's show. Thank y'all for showing up. Carrie, don't get drunk. No, you know what, Carrie? Get drunk. Get drunk, girl. You deserve it. Get hammered. If I could, I would. But I thank y'all. I really do. And I will see you next week, unless I go live and act a fool. And again, we're going to schedule a caregiver support. That will be done this week as well. I'm also going to try to get these memberships. I've got to do something, and we got to figure out what we need to do. I got to figure out what members want to see. And I'm glad you caught me too, baby. Thank you, Melissa, for coming. I'm very, very glad that you did. I like you, Melissa. I like you a lot. Thank you very much. So next week we have Karen. You said 500 ways you can say it. And we'll just talk about that. If you want to look that stuff up on your own and, participate, always. All you got to do is say, Shannon, send me a link. I will send you a link and we will do it. You can come up here and we'll talk about it. I love that shit. Stay in this order. I don't know if you're still here, and I hope to God you're feeling much better. She came up here when I was talking. I think we were talking about, I want to say it was the Dahlia, the Black Dahlia. I think it was the Black Dahlia. I'm not sure. I can't remember. She was fun too. So, yeah. I'm going to go. I love y'all. I'm glad I'm back. Susan, what do you think of my hair, Susan? I told Susan I got my wig done. I'm loving it, people. I'm telling you. I haven't been this dark in a while. It suits. It suits me. I can't help it. I can't help it. This happens all by itself. I love you, Cinnamon Girls, so much. I've missed y'all. I'm coming around again. Don't worry. Oh, you're here, there, and everywhere. I'm back. I'm back on the streets of YouTube. I am hitching rides all over YouTubeville. So, yeah, you'll see me. Good. Oh, that was really loud. Good night. Thank you. If you're rewatching this, hit that thumbs up. Oh, Cat misses everybody. Cat is going to come back for Cat's Corner. We have Cat's chair over here in Cat's Corner. And next week, Cat will address us and let us know what's going on in her life as well. She is getting ready to finish up her sophomore year. And I cannot believe that my youngest child, in a matter of months, is going to be a junior in college. Can you believe that? Can't believe that. That's crazy. That is so crazy. So, yeah, stay strong, everybody. I'm gonna go up here and see who else I got that. What? Well, you are, right? Right, Cat? My little prodigy right there. She's my little prodigy. Plus, now hey, Cat, guess what? I didn't add all the pictures. Are you shocked? I didn't add all the pictures that I thought I did. Spirit Wolf, hello. Oh, hello. We've seen you in a minute. You have a great night too. Let me look up. Carrie, you are drunk. I'm just kidding. What did you say, Carrie? Hold on. Carrie. You crazy. Carrie is, I have to live vicariously through Carrie. She said she can have a drink for everyone. Yeah. Oh my God. MFW. Okay. All right. Let me just, MFW. Katie. We got to cover her. She has lost it. Okay. She has lost the fucking plot right now. Is it funny? Yes, it is. I am sorry. It's funny. That little pig ran around a holy terror around YouTube. A holy terror. And was making money hand over fist. Why? I do not know. She is a pig from hell. And now she's evicted. She's living off this guy. She is a raging alcoholic. And I mean sad. She's blown out her stomach twice, okay, where they had to go and I think she had to be airlifted at one point. She blew out her bypass, right? And the doctors had to go in and make a stomach out of part of her intestines. That has happened twice. She will not survive a third time. They've told her this. Katie, you won't survive this again. So she said, oh, I'm going to stop drinking. And then a couple of days later, decided, you know what? If I'm going to go, I might as well go doing what I want, being a drunk, dumb bitch. She is carried on nicely with that. She's passing out all over her little boyfriend's house. She's got a guy, Larry, there that she thinks, I don't know if he works for her or what the fuck but they're drinking literally gallons of vodka in a few days. Y'all know her with this. Y'all, this is, if you've ever watched Katie, this is what Katie does. Pretend this is it is a solo, but it's buddies. Here's the way Katie drinks. I'll never figure this out. Y'all ready? Here we go. Steam. Sorry. She takes a sip like that. Her stomach is extended. She's starting to put the weight back on. I'm not going to pick on her for that. However, how fucking ever. If her liver is swelling up, because the gut is literally, you can, Susan knows, Carrie knows, it's from right up under her breasts, and it's where your liver is, okay? It is going to shut down. Susan and I were talking on the phone last night. This makes me so fucking mad. My best friend, who was the kindest woman she was kind, but she was wild. And we would discuss our, lives, and there was nothing that I could say that would shock her, and vice versa. We had a very interesting lives. She taught me so much about life. I mean, she wasn't feeling well. She wasn't feeling well. And my sister, who lived in Arkansas, I didn't know very well, but I mean, she was, my sister was diagnosed with breast cancer and going through chemo, and it upset me, And I remember Sheree didn't feel good, and I kept thinking, you know what, Sheree, this is probably, it might be Lyme's disease, because at the time that was, I said, it might just be Lyme's disease, And she was like, well, yeah, I'm going to go to the doctor and get it, And I get a call that day, and it's Sheree. And she said, I'm so sorry. And I went, what? And she said, I'm so sorry. And I'm like, why? And she said, I have leukemia and I'm on my way to UVA. It's about an hour and a half of us. And I remember like somebody yelled it from a tunnel. Does that mean, I don't know if that even makes sense. It's like somebody was yelling it in a tunnel, because all of a sudden everything got very small. And I'm like, wait, whoa. No. It's not that. Yeah, it was that. And the things that she had to endure, the things that happened to her that she was aware of, but nobody knew that she was aware of it. I'll give you an example. She, chemo's ugly. It's ugly shit. It's ugly. And she retained all this water, right? I mean, retained it. And she was in a part of the hospital that she was, I think that she knew that the blanket was off of her, right? She knew that she was, she was uncovered and people were coming. She's here, that she knows this, okay? She knows this. And she remembers that the orderly or somebody pulled the blanket up over her, so that she wasn't exposed. He didn't know, And then she got okay. And so then she was cancer-free. And they found out that her sister could donate stem cells. And all she had to do was come home and get stronger before they could do this. And we're out of the woods, guys. This is great. She's just going to get better, and then her sister's going to give her, the cells, and this is over. This horrible thing is over. And not even a week later, not even a fucking week later, she was back at UVA, and it had come back that quick, and it came back hard, and she died the next week. And Katie Roby has decided that she would rather go out of this world a drunk. She gets to choose that. Something's very wrong there. These are people, there are people, everybody goes to this. There are people that shouldn't be here. All right. There's some people that shouldn't be here on this earth. They don't deserve it. And there are people that should be here that aren't, because of something stupid like leukemia, cancer, heart attacks, or strokes, or whatever. And you have someone like her that is throwing away her life because she just doesn't want. He's even talking about the Ozempic shot that she's going to go on, and that the doctor explained to her that it could curb her need for alcohol. This is what she said afterwards. That scares me. Why? What? You're scared that you can't be a drunk. You're scared that a medicine that they're giving you, you piece of shit, who has blown out how many stomachs now? You get to get a drug so your fat fucking ass can stop eating. But it's not the eating that gets her. It's a fucking fifth of a gallon of vodka. Empty calories, Katie. She gets to choose. And she's scared that she won't be able to drink, that she won't want to drink. Make that make sense. There are people out here, again, let me get on this fucking soapbox while I'm here, who can't afford that medicine because they're not on welfare, Katie, and they're not sucking off the state and sucking off anybody else, and you're giving it for free because you're a fucking drunk who is putting all of her weight. People that gave money to that bitch so that she could have the operation, get the bypass. I know my friend Kit Kat did, and she's rolling in her grave right now. Katie threw that away, threw it in everybody's face that ever helped her. I don't even know why I'm on this right now, but that bitch gets to, one, get the shot for free when there are people out here that need it. They want to stick around for their children. They want that A1C down. They want to live a healthier life. They can't get it, but fat fucking alcoholic Katie Roby can. And she just doesn't know if she wants to take it because it might curb her alcohol intake. Hello, Gina. But D'Angelo, I love you. Hey, Mags. I mean, so that's the thing. I get very angry with that. That's not fair. That's not fair. Anywhere on earth is that fair. It's not fair. The worse you are, the better you got it. And that's basically what it is. I don't know. The worse you are, the better you got it. I have a friend that fought so hard to live. My sister and my best friend died within 8 months of each other. My sister, I know that sounds horrible. You know what? I was not raised with her. We shared a father. We got close. She got cancer. My dad wanted me to talk to her because she was making some really stupid decisions. And I did. And she got mad. And he threw me under the fucking bus. He didn't say, oh, no, wait, Sally. No. I told Shannon to do that. No, didn't do that. No. Why would you do that? You got no balls. Yeah. So then my sister got it again. She got cancer again. She got it again. And it was in her lungs, liver, bones, brain. And yeah. She had 2 sons. She fought. My Cherie had, a daughter and a son and a grandson that she raised and grandchildren that she will never see. And Katie Roby's getting drunk tonight and gets to take Ozempic to bar and is scared that it won't make her not want to drink. I'll see y'all next week. I didn't mean to get this upset. I'm sorry. No, Carrie. I mean, no, I'm glad you buy because I want to go over it. She's a train wreck. She's a train wreck. I found some more train wrecks that I think you'll be very interested in. I found them on Instagram. There's one woman that y'all are gonna love. So we can lighten this shit up. I'll bring those to you soon too. And then I kind of like our hot topics. If you got a hot topic, if it's something happened in the community or anywhere else, I would love to do that once a week. Hot topics, I like that. I mean, I did steal it. Technically, I stole it from The View. Whatever, doesn't matter. Anyway, yeah, no, yeah, it's horrible. And she wants it. It's horrible, and Katie would rather die from that. I don't understand it. I don't understand. What is wrong with people? I just can't. I don't understand. Oh. And I'm trying to figure out right now who would miss her if she died tomorrow. Her dad, maybe. Maybe her dad. He's a drunk too. Maybe the wife, his wife. I don't know. I guess maybe your friend Larry might. There's a lot. She's like 800, 700, 900,000 people that watch her when she goes live over there on TikTok. And if I could speak to Katie now, honey, Katie, those people are trying to watch you die. They watch you drink. They watch you pass out, where we can see all the way up down your throat. You've got about 9 teeth left in your head. You even say the ones that you have left hurt. You have literally lost everything. You have nothing left. And those people are there to watch you die. And every time you go live and all those people show up, please don't think they're there to cheer you on. They want to see you die. And when you do, about a week later, nobody's going to remember you. They'll say, you remember that girl that used to be on YouTube? You remember her? She had the weight, yeah, she had the bypass, and then she got drunk. She came. Do you remember her? Oh gosh, she was. That's what they're going to say about you about a week after you die. Your legacy on this earth, you don't have one. How hard is it not to have a legacy? My God. And you don't have one. You don't have one. Because you're not that important. People just want to see you die. That's what they're tuning in for. They're probably going to get their wish. I mean, they watch you pass out. It's really gross. It's gross. It is so gross. But whatever. I mean, you know. Oh, so she don't care. Yeah. She doesn't care. Again, that death is not unpainful. You know, especially if it's alcohol related. You know, you can have, there's a lot of reasons for cirrhosis. It's not all alcohol. Please know that. Yeah, it's not a pretty death. Ask me how I know. It's not a pretty death. And that's what people are waiting on. And they're going to get their wish. You're going to do it. But then again, please know, okay, because I know you're not watching this, but please know, a week after you're dead, nobody's going to remember who you are. They will have moved on to someone else. And with that, I'm carrying my fat ass right up the steps. I love you guys. Thank you for showing up. I haven't done it in a while. I love you too, Carrie. I love you so much. I love you, Carrie. I'm going to go. I'll see you soon. I'll probably go live sometime this week. I'm going to show y'all some new people you might like. I know one you're really going to like to lighten things up. And then I'll see you next Saturday for sure for Kyron Harmon. And then we'll move on from there. Okay. Bye, guys. I love you. Thank you. See you later.